Walk onto a pharmaceutical manufacturing floor, and you are immediately surrounded by invisible hazards. We are talking about highly concentrated toxic chemicals, aggressive corrosive agents, and biological contaminants that can cause severe illness upon exposure. Engineers design these facilities with heavy-duty ventilation and containment systems to neutralize these threats. But when those systems are breached or maintenance is required, you rely on the last line of defense: personal protective equipment, or PPE. In this environment, your gear serves a unique dual purpose. It creates a physical barrier to keep toxic materials away from your skin and lungs, while simultaneously trapping your own hair and skin cells so they cannot contaminate the sterile products you're manufacturing. However, one of the most dangerous mistakes an operator can make is assuming that a single pair of gloves or a standard mask will protect against every type of threat in the building. Because of this dual mandate, a tear in a glove or a loose mask is a direct vector for contamination that can force the destruction of an entire batch of life-saving medicine. This infographic maps out required protection levels. Standard home and DIY gear works for a garage, but industrial chemical environments demand specialized equipment. Notice the stark contrast. Simple paper dust masks catch sawdust, but pharmaceutical zones require the fully sealed filtration of heavy-duty respirators. When operators handle highly reactive substances that pose a severe skin contact threat, partial coverage fails. As the red, toxic, and corrosive placard indicates, these scenarios demand the full body encapsulation of the yellow chemical suit. The takeaway is clear. The specific chemical or biological hazard profile of the room dictates exactly what you wear. Operator convenience never factors into the equation. Let's break down this defense systematically, starting from the top. Tight-fitting hoods ensure biological matter stays inside the suit, while rigid face shields act as physical deflectors to keep chemical splashes away from the eyes and skin. Moving down to the hands, operators use specific nitrile or latex gloves. Because hands are interacting directly with the product and chemicals, these gloves provide a sterile handling surface while resisting chemical degradation. To tie it all together, lab coats, full coveralls, and disposable boot covers are layered on. These elements overlap, linking up to create a continuous, unbroken environmental seal from the neck down to the floor. For the most extreme hazard zones where ambient air is heavily contaminated, operators use SCBA, or self-contained breathing apparatus. This isolates the worker's lungs from the room, feeding clean air from a dedicated closed-loop tank. None of these zones can be treated as optional. Leaving even an inch of skin exposed creates a vector for systemic failure, because the entire defensive system is exactly as strong as its weakest seal. Even the highest-grade equipment is useless if worn improperly. A respirator pulled down below the chin to speak, or safety goggles resting on the forehead, instantly compromises that seal and invites exposure. The same is true for neglected maintenance. Skipping a pre-use inspection allows dangerous flaws to go unnoticed, like invisible micro-tears in chemical gloves or a degraded rubber seal on a respirator facepiece. The harsh reality of a pharmaceutical lab is that poorly fitted, damaged, or neglected PPE isn't providing partial protection. It is functionally identical to wearing no protection at all. This is exactly why good manufacturing practice, or GMP, audits heavily scrutinize how a facility handles its gear. Strict adherence to PPE protocols is a federally mandated requirement to keep the facility operating. This diagram outlines the 3 non-negotiable pillars of compliance you must follow. Number 1, correct selection for the specific hazard. Number 2, flawless physical fit. And number 3, rigorous inspection before every single use. We can automate the heavy machinery, but we cannot automate safety and sterility. Those rely on constant vigilance and active, deliberate participation from every single operator on the floor. In the pharmaceutical industry, putting on your gear correctly is the most important task of the day. It is the ultimate, non-negotiable bridge between human survival and global product safety.